All right, welcome everybody back to the GDQ Hotfix. And as those of you who may have tuned in a little bit this month already might know, it is Disability Month here on the Hotfix for October, which is Disability Awareness Month. And with that in mind, we have got a super special run for you tonight. It's actually going to be Mega Man X 100% one-handed, being run by Manawatts, who's actually joining me here in voice to commentate during the run. Manawatts, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for asking, Jay Hobbs.
Yeah, so I'm mostly just going to kind of leave this to you, kind of take it away. Tell us a little bit about your run here and everything we're going to see tonight.
All right, yeah, will do. So to start off, my name's Manawatts. The disability that I have been plagued with, if that's what you want to call it, is cerebral palsy. So I don't have a great command of my right hand. I can do minor things, hold doors, things like that. So what I'll be doing tonight is basically just holding the controller so it's not slipping around and I'm not trying to chase it while I'm doing inputs here. One of the big things you guys will probably notice is I'm not going to be going for iceless. I know a lot of you might be disappointed, but practicing iceless kind of hurts. And then the other big thing is I really don't care too much about my intro time. So I'm not going to be getting out of intro near as fast as, say, your average runner. Just because mashing through intro about 3 times, 3 resets, you're pretty much done, at least in my situation. So,
right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with that, I think you can go ahead and take it away. Also, I don't blame you on the iceless thing. I've run other games that have a similar trick and they're not fun.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you can get it maybe once or twice, but do you really want to, reset or run because all of a sudden your brain just forgets how to do it. I've seen plenty top runners. It's like when they actually get on pace, it's like all of a sudden they just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shut the timer off and then they nail it 5 times in a row. I was like, that does not look fun. All right, I just wanted to do one more triple check because I don't want my weapon swaps to be off mid-run. So we are good there. All right, and then I'm going to get started. I'll count down from 5 and we can start on go.
Sounds
5,
good.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck.
Yep, and my global hotkeys were not on, so my timer will not be going. Which might
Don't
be
worry.
a good thing.
We got our GDQ timer rolling. It's all good.
All right, first blue guy down. We're off to a good start, and there's a bonk. So yeah, one thing that can happen in this is these bees are going to come down, and they always will give you a different pattern. What you want to see is them just shooting machine guns, not like what they just did. Because now, I'm really going to risk dying here. So I'm probably just going to front this next bee to avoid that. Take a little bit of that health. I thought he was going to do that. Just trying to be really careful here because it's never fun dying in intro.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you do actually want to be low health at least in the intro, though, right?
Near the end, yeah. So like right now, it'd probably should be around 3 health. But I got a health pickup, which is, I'll take care of that here shortly.
I'm always impressed by the mashing ability of NES and SNES speedrunners. I'm nowhere near as good at mashing.
And I'll say one thing, the controller helps. Like the SNES controller and even like the NES. It's like, for some reason, the feedback's there. I remember trying to speedrun this with like an Xbox controller and it was not pretty. Did notice something there that I haven't seen. That last card died very fast.
So now that's just a scripted event where you need to
Yeah.
lose all your health, basically, or lose enough health to get grabbed, right?
Yeah, you want to be down to 3, or else he's gonna just slide around and start punching everywhere. There's our boy Zero. We'll be missing him shortly. He'll never come back. And now we have Icy Penguigo, which for some reason sounds like a Latin American name instead of Japanese, but so here we are waiting for dash boots so we can actually start the real run. I personally like the beginning of Penguin. I'm weird. But there's just like a lot of small optimal movement that kind of makes it fun when you can't go top speed. Take that.
It's funny how like creative you have to get in speedruns sometimes when you don't have the go fast button to try to save frames wherever you can. That could be very fun in its own right, for sure.
Just there's certain areas that when you put them together in this game are really rewarding, and I just feel like when you nail that section, it feels really good, at least when you go fast. So now the true speedrun begins. There is a trick here called no stop. I'm not very good at it, but basically you are able to get to that first ostrich and kill it and just keep dashing. Here's everybody's favorite mech and favorite jump. Even the casual players have ran into that thing and either loved jumping out of it immediately or never being able to jump out of it. Let's take that bonk. So about what time are we at right now, since my timer's...
About 4:42 or so.
Okay, that's about my normal pace. Everyone in speedrunning knows birds are jerks, so we'll see if our friend Penguin will participate.
Is there a lot of randomness in the Chill Penguin fight, or? I ask as you're intensely focusing, so please don't feel like you have to answer me or anything.
Like, not in his move set. He's only got so many things he can do, but you just don't want him to slide. And it's like, I guess he can. It's like the percentage chance never goes down. He can slide 20% every time he makes his decision or something like that. All right, so now we're on to Eagle. And we won't be going for Carpet, Magic Carpet, which is a Phantom Grab, because that generally requires Iceless, and yeah, not doing that. I don't like this stage because there's pits everywhere. So right now we're just grabbing a heart so we can clear the 100% as well as get our handy dandy Hadouken. Get up there, please. The Hadouken's very nice because it is a one-shot kill on everybody except for the head of Wolf Sigma. This little section here, you actually bonk that guy to set these platforms up. So these guys, these flamethrower guys aren't spawning, and you can just kind of rip through the section like that.
Oh, that's super neat.
Yeah, it was about 1.5 years of running this game once I noticed somebody, and they told me that, and I was kind of angry.
It's funny when people have setups, but they're not like obvious from looking at them.
Yeah.
It's just like, why are they always just so much better than me at this?
And it's always just stand on this pixel.
Yeah.
This right here, wait 1 frame.
Now you mentioned the Hadouken, and you had to get the heart. So what exactly like unlocks that ability later?
So having everything on as far as E-tanks and heart pieces go, um, that was a follower from Zelda. You also need to make sure every boss is killed so you have all their weapons. And then you have to see basically the first pixel of where the capsule would be 5 times. And on the 5th time, can I shut up here?
It's like
And
I need to stop asking you questions right before bosses.
It's like the door section's nice too. But yeah, on the 5th time, make sure you're full health, and then it should spawn. I have had it happen where I was full health, I saw the capsule, and then got bonked by a bird, and the capsule despawned.
Oh no.
And I watched my hopes and dreams fade away. Yeah, so another thing that is kind of difficult for me is weapon swaps, which is kind of why I never want to run Mega Man X2. There are a lot of tech and weapon swaps in that game. And so I do get kind of lucky. There's not a lot in this one, and I've also bind the left weapon swap to X instead of L. You might have caught that in the beginning.
Okay.
One thing that is nice, most people don't know until they start speedrunning, is if you hold the left weapon swap and the right weapon swap, it'll take you back to Buster.
That would have been very convenient even for my casual playthrough. Really wish I'd known that.
Yeah, it's one of those mind-blown moments. That was one of the scary parts I was mentioning, because you can kind of end the run there. So I just kind of kept talking through it and hope I got it, which I did.
Were you doing like a trick to get up there? Is that like, are you normally supposed to have a different power or something?
No, you're able to make it. It's just if you break the last block that's farther from you, you can't make that jump anymore.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the runners who go through Iceless actually make that section look very fast because they can just catch everything with the boomerang. They never have to break the blocks to get the E-tank or anything like that. Mess that up. So Mammoth is a pretty basic fight. You just kind of get close to him so that each tornado you shoot hits him twice.
There you go.
I would say with the tutorials and everything and there being a practice ROM, this game is really easy to get into. And I didn't really have too much adaptive technology or anything that I really had to do in that area for my disability. But I've been kind of lucky. I've been playing video games, regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo, probably like the age of 4, 5. So to me, this is all just natural. Like, this is how you play Mega Man X in my mind. Be a little quiet here.
Man, I still just love watching climbs in speedruns in 2D platformers and stuff. They're always so impressive.
It's like the platforming is actually like kind of eye appealing. And when you see it go that fast, you're like, wow.
So with you setting up on the far right, there's Is this just kind of like, oh, you're just messing around, you found that what works for you, or is there anything in
Yeah.
particular with that about that section?
That section, the wall is glitched, so if you can do wall kicks without touching those spikes won't damage you in those kicks. So
Okay.
I do one kind of timed special to dodge one of those flying jamminger guys. But other than that, it's just me messing around to try and stay focused while you just kind of wait for the vertical auto scroller. Oof. This climb is very deceptive in how difficult it is. There's a lot of lag going on. And that. So I messed up my charge here. You want to have a gold charge when you go into Kawanger for the tango. So I'm going to be a little slow in that hallway.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything either. I was just that was so tense. I was like, I was so tensed up just watching it. Do you normally plan to take a lot of damage up front, or was it due to the patterns he was giving you, or?
I messed up the tango, and then it was just kind of going to the backup strategy.
Right.
And I found you can kind of time the green shots when he starts throwing his little boomerang piece. You can just kind of keep letting them go as soon as they're ready, and just keep jumping from wall to wall, as long as he hasn't started his teleport phase.
Wow. Well, very nice job slipping into the backup, because could not tell. Like, honestly, just didn't know if they were playing damage boost or not.
We'll call all the damage boosts planned. We'll
Yeah.
go with that. In this section, there is a faster way to do it, but I add these little, like, 5-frame pauses just to get the guys to keep spawning, like, into the tornadoes as I go through there. Oop, and I messed up that. I should have had a pink charge first, but we'll do that. And maybe he's a pal. There we go. Thunder Slimer, that guy in the any percent fight, is a monster. Where here we just kind of make easy work of him with tornadoes. I do not like this section, so I'm just going to cheat it and do that. I've been having problems with that like the last month, and it's one of the easier tricks. And it's like, we'll just do it the hard way.
Well, it's funny because you said, you don't do iceless and stuff, but it looks like a very similar jump anyways that you still have to do.
We don't want Fire Wave, but we do want a gold charge.
Man, the music in this stage is fantastic. I mean, the music in this game is fantastic, but I love this stage especially.
I want to find the one person that thinks this song is horrible. It's like you might like some better, but you like this song. You're gonna like it. One thing with X1, you definitely want to end the fights in the middle as much as possible. X2 and X3, you kind of just teleport out wherever you're standing. So in that fight, you want to walk in with that gold charge, let that go, because it ends the fight in the middle with the ice patterns.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And any of the X runners that might be watching, they will notice I'm not holding start when I should be, because there's screens. I'm giving you guys DLC. Alright, we're going to go for booty. Almost.
I love the speed boost you get off that cart.
So there is one Phantom Grab I go for, and that's it. We'll have another chance at it during the revisits. That strat I just did there was Bat Sweeper, and it was one of the strats that made me want to run this game. I only recently added it in.
Low jumps. So good. How much of the speedrun, in some of the platforming stages and stuff, is just manipulating lag, like trying to get rid of lag?
This right here.
Yeah, just a lot of it.
And during the revisits, I'm not going to talk because that is one of the more dangerous spots to lose focus. Because everyone does. Everyone's like, oh, just die 4 times, fall into the pit. And then the cart gets them. Ooh, didn't work there.
Looks like there's not a lot of like spare room in terms of ammo on that one, huh?
Oh no. I did mash a little bit near the end, so I might have shot a couple extra. And there we go, not holding start again, I apologize. Alright, last 2 Mavericks, and then go for the Hadouken.
Yeah, so you were saying that you're going to be doing a revisit and everything. You want to explain a little bit further about why?
Yeah, that's kind of touched on that in the beginning with it is an Easter egg, and they added, for some reason, you need to show up and do revisits in the Dillo stage, is where they hid the capsule. And the reason why I want that is because it one-shots pretty much every boss, which makes the Sigma Fortress nice and free for the most part. Ooh. I was hoping for a little bit more health there.
So I noticed you kind of like moved off to the right side of the screen before coming back during some of those explosions. Is that just to eliminate lag, or is it just having fun while you're waiting?
Yeah, that is to eliminate lag, because almost everything on screen slows this game down.
Gotcha.
As most SNES things do, I believe. Like there, I just caught by that fish because I was worried about a weapon swap, even though I have plenty of time to do weapon swaps here. Oof.
Not a bad sub tank usage.
Yeah. Ooh, he's gonna get close. Okay, good. So usually you don't want him to swirl, but I'm so thankful he did, because he kind of kept the run alive.
So is it obviously it wastes time for him to do that, but do you pretty much always have a guaranteed opening after it? Is that why?
Yeah, and you can usually catch him right as the top of his swirl, kind of.
Ah, okay. Man, you just keep wanting to make it tense for me. I'm loving it. I'm watching these so so closely.
So I will probably be a little bit more quiet now that it's getting to the... So if you want to chime in whenever, please feel free.
Yeah, sure thing.
And if I don't
Just-
respond, I'm just probably being slack-jawed and
focusing on the run. I know at this stage that's like moving forward like that where you're barely getting slowed down by anything is incredible. So does this boss only have, or this mini boss only have like certain vulnerable spots, or are even the ones where it doesn't look like it's flashing still causing damage?
it's his iframe. So it's like when I was hitting him too early when you didn't see the flash.
Gotcha.
So he's really got a rhythm to him, and
Mhm.
if you mess that rhythm up, you're kind of just playing catch up at that point.
One of those things where like your really good mashing kind of works against you there, huh?
Yeah. It's like, don't go on autopilot. Oop. There we go.
Oh my god! I straight up thought you fell down the pit like 3 times.
Got to make it kind of interesting.
Is that like the kind of expected casual way to get that one, or is there something else that you're supposed to do, but you guys obviously have a faster way of doing it?
So you could just jump for it now that I've beaten Octopus, because now there's water sitting there, which makes you have water physics when you're jumping.
Gotcha.
Use the old way if you weren't... Well, the old way was, I believe you would take an ice sled and like put it into those blocks, like ride it over, because you didn't fight Octopus yet. Because you would go in to grab Chameleon Sting because it lets you be invulnerable through most levels.
But instead, you can just use the boomerang and grab it. Just faster. Yeah, this is probably the boss I think a lot of people are more familiar with in terms of having seen this strat.
And I messed that up. So what I should have done, even though one of my boomerangs hit a little early, is my last shot should have been a dash shot coming off the wall, which they do 2 damage, vice a normal lemon, which does 1.
Oh, okay. That's always something wild about the Mega Man runs to me, because like I've got Kingdom Hearts speedrunning as my background, and that has a lot of boss strats, but there's not nearly as many backups for when things start to go wrong. A lot of it just becomes improvised at that point, but you all do so many races there, you got it so like figured out.
Look, you just keep dodge rolling. It's all started to dissolve. So here we're just going to get the heart that is hiding in one of those igloos. Oof, that was bad. It's gonna hang out here. I was about a frame late on letting that sea sting go.
Yeah, because this is the charged up power up, right? That gives you invulnerability.
Yeah. So I'm just running through people.
Do all of the power ups have a charged up like effect to them as soon as you get them, or is that something you get from beating a later portion of the game?
It's something you get from the capsule in Mammoth, because it gives you an arm upgrade. Now, if you don't get that later on, Vile, the Vile fight, Zero actually gives you his arm as he dies.
Oh, okay.
So you get the charge.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Now I take it we're revisiting for Hadouken.
Yes. Ooh. Overswap there. Oops.
Man, so those...
No, come back! Watch this. There we go.
Oh, no. Wow, that's great.
I'm glad I've done that a couple times.
Seriously, you got backup strats on your backup strats. It's amazing. I love it. Oh, that was such a good throw. Are you ever worried about that? Just like whiffing one of these days? And
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is the spot you want to see. It's basically a couple pixels behind that health piece up there.
Gotcha. Well, while you're focusing on that, I can remind everybody out there who's enjoying this that this is Disability Awareness Month for October. So we're doing a bunch of different broadcasts throughout the GDQ Hotfix, featuring things for Disability Month and all that. And if you have been enjoying the Hotfix, hey, if we would love for you to subscribe or just turn off ad block and stuff like that, because it's what kind of helps us do this stuff. So thank you all. Wanted to remind everybody that the AGDQ games list comes out tonight as well, which I think might have already came out and has Mega Man X 100% on it. So if you're enjoying this, you can see even more of it at AGDQ and everything. And yeah, like we've got the registration for AGDQs coming out tomorrow is when Wave 1 starts, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Wave 2 will happen on October 11th at 11 a.m. Eastern. We've also got the Community Spotlight tomorrow, which is going to be Sonic 3 and Knuckles at 8 p.m. Eastern, one of our regular shows. Wednesday's going to have Kusa Grande at 7 p.m. Eastern, another show where people play bad games, basically. Not like Mega Man X. Mega Man X is certifiably a good game. And then on Thursday, we got the new show that I started with Keezer on called The First Step, where we do semi-blind races through games. So try to show everybody how easy it is to get into speedrunning. So please tune into that Thursday at 7 Eastern. And with that, sufficiently, we've covered all the deaths. You've got the...
We are now eligible for the Street Fighter tournament.
So you said this like one-shots bosses, but you got to be at full health, right?
Yes. It's like the Master Sword. So like
Gotcha. Hey, Zero's back.
Yeah, for but. Oof. All right. And I messed that up, or else I would have been going for a leap, but I messed the whole pattern up. Just took it really safe there. I did not want to die.
Yeah. Yeah, with how many lives you have to spend getting the Hadoken, like how tight does it get for the rest of the run?
I've got probably 0 right now, but as long as you do everything right, you don't... Alright, I'm gonna be quiet again for this.
Yeah, please focus as much as you need to on it. Okay, so what in the world just happened?
We avoided the soft lock. We have a run. There's a lot of cutscene skips in there, and I'll go over them maybe, or I'll probably forget about them and totally forget to cover them. So basically, you just don't touch the floor in that one room, and then it just keeps scrolling a whole bunch of cutscenes into the next room. Is the fastest way to explain it.
And so it just kind of like is playing the visual parts of the cutscene like while the text part is going instead of separately like it's happening right now. Okay.
Oof. I should have been able to get over that guy. What's up?
He was just working for his Christmas bonus.
Moment of truth. No more E-Tank.
Yeah, so at this point, if Manwatts gets hit at all, that's going to get rid of the Hadoken until he can get to full health. That invulnerability movement, not as easy as it looks. I don't even think it looks easy, but on top of that, it's like, no. You can see just how quickly it can all go south.
There we go. Bow Spider always scares me, but if you can read the patterns fast enough, she's only going to follow every line she comes into. And the green bar patterns just change.
So that's totally random. Just gotta react to it.
And there's only a set amount, so some people have actually made flashcards and stuff, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's great. Memorizing or just analyzing it, either way, that's like that takes some skill to be able to recognize it immediately.
That one's always tight. I even did a little turnaround there. I don't know how to go through.
So to actually use the Hadoken, are you having to charge something up? Are you, is it just a different button press, or how exactly are you using it?
That's a quarter circle forward, just like Street Fighter.
Oh, okay. As someone who never got it in my casual, I actually never knew how it was used. I was like, maybe they're charging something up and I'm not seeing it somehow.
No, you definitely have to do the Street Fighter input. And X2 has Show Ryuken, which is just like it is in the game too. And you still need to be at full health. X3, you get Zero Saber, and you don't have to be at full health, which is kind of nice. But it's not a one-hit kill.
Have you ever had scenarios where like that, you know, the combination of the input gets dropped somewhere, or it reads something as a right instead of a down right, that kind of thing, and your Hadoken doesn't come out?
Yeah, it's usually like a double tap dash will come out and really just surprise you, and then you take a bonk and it's...
Oof. I take it this is one of those bosses that does not get one shot.
The eyes can. You can't catch the nose.
Gotcha.
Or some people might be able to with like an ice sled and some weirdness, but it's generally not fun. You just pray to get the best RNG pattern. All right, and we're almost to the end.
Would you like an update on your pace at the moment? Well, I'll wait until you're through some intense platforming.
Let's do it after this final boss here.
Sure thing.
So here we're gonna put an ice sled into the wall and from there, if all goes right. Maybe? That was the shortest sled I've ever done that on.
You couldn't, it was behind the health bar. You couldn't even see it. Wow. That was incredible. Very well done.
Thank you.
I take it you basically have to be standing on flat ground, and that's why you're using that.
Yep.
Gotcha. Man, just flying through these.
I love 100% for that.
Yeah. And it's amazing that 100% is not like that much longer than any percent, since you can, you know, since you do at least get to one shot all these bosses and stuff if you do it right.
Yeah, it's like the time loss with Dillo revisits makes up for it with the...
Every time that invulnerability is like timed perfectly right before you hit an enemy, I like have a little gasp of breath.
So I do something a little swaggy there. I come in with a weapon on, just so I can weapon swap during the Hadouken. And the reason why I do that is for this one, because it's similar pattern, I feel. I messed it up, but usually you can catch him first frame as that head's coming up, and it's called the Dom Dukin, but I kind of...
Still, to catch that like right before it was about to grab you, right before it was about to land on you. It was incredible.
All right, here's the final 90-second stretch.
For reference, I'm curious if anybody out there in chat can remember how long it took them to beat Mega Man X. I think I was somewhere in the many hours at this point, and I didn't actually end up beating it.
The tutorials out there are very great. I think my first run was like an hour 40. I've been missing that one a lot lately too. Usually you can throw the Hadouken first frame, because you can actually buffer the quarter circle forward input.
Oh, okay.
But I'm either a little slow or a little fast with something.
Always hard to tell with buffers.
Yeah.
And I take it no Hadouken here. It doesn't. Not gonna work out on the final boss.
I think in the PSP remake you can. Oh, you would. Go right side. There you guys go. Right side finish.
There you go, time. Oh, man. Wow, that was incredible. You want to know your final time?
Sure.
39:53.
Wow, a sub 40.
Sub 40. That was incredible, dude.
All right, guys, if you want to pick this game up, sub 40 is free. It's everybody's time if you start.
Sub 40 one-handed. Wow. Thank you so much, Man Watts. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the game or about you, or all that kind of thing? Where can people find you as well?
I'm definitely just glad I didn't die, and thank you guys for reaching out. You can find me on twitch.tv/manawatts. There's an MMX speedrunning Discord. If you go to speedrun.com, you'll find it in the resources for the invite. If anybody wants to get in this, please do. It is a very fun run, and it's very entry level, at least for 100%, until you start getting around sub 40. But definitely glad I could show this off for you guys. I wanted it to be a little bit faster, but that's less than 50 seconds off my PB, so I can't be disappointed with that. My PB is a 39:06, so
any no reset run within a minute is like, wow, that's incredible.
So hope you guys liked that. Tried to get the hand cam going as best I could, just to kind of show off how it's done. So
all right, well, cool. Thanks again so much, Man Watts. Everybody, please go follow him, because what did we just see? Like that was amazing. I love it. Mega Man X, super fun to see every time. Remember, everybody, stay tuned to GDQ Hotfix all throughout the month, because we are doing a little disability month thing. Try to let you all know, basically just because it's Disability Awareness Month for October and everything. And we had such a fun time working with Able Gamers for GDQX and all that, so we thought we'd kind of keep it going in October. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on. Games list is out if you want to go check that out at gamesdonequick.com. Tomorrow we got the community spotlight. We got more stuff throughout the week. You can always check that out at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. Thanks again to Manawatts. And thank you all for watching. We will see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.